first three are from the legendary Mothers performances at the Roxy Theater in 1974. Gotcha. Okay, so this is Frank Zappa and the Mothers performing at Roxy Theater. Awesome. So we're going to be playing these three tracks that Aloe gave us as in one instance. Okay. So starting off with Village of the Sun. Village of the Sun. So thank you so much, Aloe Trope. Really appreciate you. You want to request Frank and Marino doing It's Begun to Rain from the Agora Theater for a Patreon request. Okay, let's see if we've done that one, dude. What was it? It's Begun to Rain. I don't believe we've done this one. Nope. We've only seen Something's Coming Our Way from the Agora Theater. So, no problem. Let's jump. Well, we'll put it on the list, dude. We'll take a listen after these, Frank Zappa tracks. So let me just throw this on the list. Dude, this one is 12 minutes, 50 seconds, dude. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Can't wait to check it out, dude. So, bloop, 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 bloop. Allow me one moment. Allow me one moment. Apollo right there. Okay, dude, and then that brings you down to 19 minutes. Once we do that one. That's too long, no? No, dude. Patreon requests can be however long you have time that will permit. You know what I mean? Like, you had 32 minutes to spare, so yeah, no, this fits, dude. If it fits, it sits. So no problem. Where is everybody? Well, it's a Patreon request night, so there's less incentive for people to really join tonight if they don't have a request that they can redeem. You know what I mean? So, like, it makes sense to assume that less people are going to be present for these streams since it's not like a free request night or a paid request night. You know what I mean? Just how it works. So yeah, we're gonna jump on into Village of the Sun by Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention. Thank you so much, Aloe.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Does anybody here know where Palmdale is? You do? Good. Have you ever heard of a place called Sun Village? Some of you know where Sun Village is. Okay, it's out in back of Palmdale. All right. At one time, that used to be a big place for raising turkeys. And I went to high school in Lancaster, which is not far from Palmdale. Oh, is it very good for other things out there now? Good. Can't turn me up so they can hear what I'm saying. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a song about this place where I used to live, where they used to raise turkeys.
Made up my mind and
Dude, this is super funky for something Frank Zappa and crew are doing. Really progressive sounding, like we're shifting vibe every few seconds, dude, but mostly staying in the kind of funky zone, right? I like the vocals. I like uh everything about this, really. It's a lot of fun. Definitely a little quirky, dude. Not the most quirky I've heard from Frank Zappa, but yeah, it's up there, dude. Village of the Sun, dude. Let's get back into this.
To watch the lights turn going back home to the village of the sun. Out in back of Palmdale where the turkey farmers around. I done made up my mind, and I know I'm gonna go this time. Village, good God, I hope the wind don't blow it take the paint off your car and wreck your windshield too. I don't know how the people stand it, but I guess they do. 'Cause they're all still there, even Johnny Franklin too, in the village of the sun. Village of the sun. Village of the sun, sun village to you. Well,
Whoa, that's where it ends. Okay. Well, Aloe did say we're supposed to just play this and the third part, or these three parts as one. Okay, so let's just continue it, dude. Super funky, nice and chill, dude. R&B vibe. Definitely one of Zappa's more palatable experiences, dude. Uh, so what do we have next? Echidna's Arf of You. Ba-da-da-ba. Dude, I love that actually. The random like cowbells were hilarious.
yeah, 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 yeah. Village.
Dude, all of a sudden we've been transported into like 1970s fantasy film where we're meeting the Space King of Neptune. Whoa. What could Echidna's Arf mean? I love this. Okay, we're definitely getting super quirky now. This is the Zappa I know that I've come to expect. All right, let's get back into this, dude. What do you guys think? Wow, is there like a harpsichord working in there? This is wild. Dude, the switching between this funky vibe and that kind of it's very unsettling. That's the vibe I'm getting from this. Hold on, dude. Okay, okay. Whoa. Wild Kansas, yes, esque progressive fantasy journey, dude. Where are we going, dude? We are riding into the ocean on the backs of dolphins, dude. It's the only way I know how to explain how that made me feel at the end there. While being chased by elves. Like, whoa. This experience blew up from a funk R&B jam to a fantasy journey. Yeah, Apollo, I agree, dude. I can't even believe how this song morphed. This is the same song, dude. Split into like 3 tracks. Okay. The next part, don't you ever wash that thing. Continuing, dude. This is the longest section. Dude, I can't even believe how crazy this is. Like, I just can't get over the fact that this is now what audiences are listening to. When we started off so commercially palatable, dude. This is what I love about Frank Zappa, dude. Captive audience, take them wherever you want to go. if you know how to morph the music into whatever you want, dude. Like, what were audiences thinking back in '73 when this was happening, dude? This, oh my gosh, dude. Don't you ever watch that thing?
Ladies and gentlemen, watch Ruth.
Dude. How do you even get a trumpet to make that noise, dude? It almost ended up sounding like a theremin. Dude, this is an exhibition of so many great musicians on stage coordinating just expertly. Like, this is madness that everybody had to memorize, work out together, dude. This is a feat of humanity to get people to make music this coordinated and this weird as well, dude. It's another plane of existence this music takes you to. Wow. To know people were being treated to this stuff in 1973. Wow. Yes, this is indeed crazy. Gosh, such a good recording as well. You can really feel every single instrument, dude. Well placed, well mixed. Let's get back into this. Again, this is Don't You Ever Wash That Thing by Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention.
All through this film, Ruth has been thinking, what can I possibly do that will amaze everyone? I think she's come up with the answer. Just keep your eye on her.
Cartoon. Okay. Quick, another pause, dude. That clavinet, dude. Sick tone. When's the next stream? Next stream, I'm not sure yet, actually. I need to make the schedule for this next week. So bear with me, dude. Just stay tuned. The schedule will come up soon. Yeah, I don't have it yet. But I'm thinking... Yeah, I'm not sure yet, dude. So, just stay tuned. Not sure what kind of stream is even going to happen next. Anyway, so let me get that settled. I want to make sure we get the Patreon requests done and over with before the end of the month. So that's what I'm pushing for before we can start up more like paid request streams. So we have a couple minutes actually left of this track, dude. Let's just keep it going. Wow, what a drum solo section, dude. Fantastic. Who is even on drums here? We're gonna have to look it up. Yeah, we'll look it up after we're done, dude. So again, just expertly crafted musicianship here, dude. Expertly crafted song. Well practiced musicianship. All right, jumping back on into Don't You Ever Wash That Thing. Oh my god. Oh, that's beautiful. Drifting off into Fantasyland. Oh, we crashed. Whoa.
Thank you.
Oh. Dude, big round of applause for Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention. Of course, they had to end it with that duck call machine, dude. The duck call... What even is that? Duck caller, dude. That is so funny. What a wild ride that was. Gosh. For over 50 years, people have been spoiled by such unique, subversive music like this. Wow. Fantastic. Beautiful. Inspiring. Dude, this is like musical storytelling. There doesn't need to be any words, just sound, dude. You can put your own visuals to it. This song was so diverse, dude. We went from like R&B funk to some like classic Frank shenanigans, dude, incorporating some like Looney Tunes-esque kind of sound effects. Uh, Certainly like telling a story as if it was like a stage play, like a musical stage play, dude. Like using the piano tickles as like, movement. It was really cool, really, really innovative, but also making like a rock song out of this as well, dude. Wow, gosh. I wish I could have seen them. Well, that's what we got the internet for, dude. We can relive this with you guys. So thank you so much, Allotrope, for giving us this perfect, weird, quirky, yet on the surface, just so palatable. This is what I would show to people if I want them to like experience the true weirdness, dude, of Frank Zappa, the true genius of it, too. It was so smooth how it like morphed in and out of each genre. This was wild, dude. Allotrope, thank you so much. Thanks for keeping the weirdness in mind. Let me know what you guys thought. Let's do some research. So this is, sorry, Roxy and Elsewhere. Gotcha. Roxy and Elsewhere. The double live album by Frank Zappa and the Mothers. Personnel, dude. We have Frank Zappa, lead guitar, Jeff Simmons, rhythm guitar, Napoleon Murphy Brock, dude. We've seen him quite a couple times. We have him on flute, tenor sax, and vocals. Awesome sax work in this album, too. George Duke on keyboard, synthesizer, vocals. Don Preston on synthesizer. Bruce Fowler on trombone. Walt Fowler, trumpet, bass, trumpet. Tom Fowler on bass. Ralph Humphrey on bass, or on drums, sorry. Chester Thompson on drums as well. Ruth Underwood on percussion. Robert Frog Camarena, backing vocals on Cheapness. Debbie Wilson, backing vocals on Cheapness. Linda Lynn Sims, backing vocals on Cheapness. And Ruben Ladron de Guevara, backing vocals on Cheapness, dude. Lots of backing vocals on Cheapness. Well, thank you so much, Allo. Really appreciate you. Great job, everybody. I was expecting a lot more people, but that's already a good amount of people to make something this large, dude. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe. Yo, going over to twitch.tv/JohnSlopReacts and leave a follow if you want to catch all these live streams where we record all these reactions, dude. And going over to patreon.com/JohnSlop to submit your favorite songs for me to listen to. And you can help support the channel as well. Appreciate ya.